Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. This is gonna be the lab number 8 from prototype pollution vulnerability module, and in today's lab we are gonna see how we can bypass flawed input filters for server-side prototype pollution. The lab description is saying this lab is built on Node.js and the Express framework. It is vulnerable to server-side prototype pollution because it unsafely merges user controllable input into a server-side JavaScript object. To solve the lab, we need to first of all find out the prototype pollution source that you can use to add arbitrary properties to the global Object.prototype. Then we need to identify the gadget to escalate our privileges and access the admin panel to delete the Carlos account for solving this lab. Now this is our credential which we can use it to test the application. There is a node when testing for server-side prototype pollution. It is possible to break application functionality or even bring down the server completely. So if this happens to you, you can manually restart the lab and you will find that option to restart the lab in your lab. So let's go and access the lab, and we have burp suite enable. You can see the traffic is coming or going through the burp suite. Okay, so this is our lab, and without wasting time, let's just go and log in to our account, and you can see there is a button with which you can actually restart the application if something is broken. So go to my account, and the username is Wiener and the password is Peter. Hit enter, don't save, and I'm just going to adjust this a bit, and you can see this is our login request. Now here the first thing we got as the previous lab, billing and delivery address. So I'm just going to submit it, or if you want to update anything, you can update it here. You can see this is the request and here is the response. The request have HTTP post method and the body section has this post data in the JSON format, and the response also contain the content in the JSON format. So I'm just going to send this request to the repeater. Go to the repeater, and this time I'm just going to change it from UK to US and send the request. So you can see isAdmin is false, and this is our user information. Now what I'm gonna try here is to inject a prototype property by saying, let's say underscore underscore proto underscore underscore, and then I'm gonna say, so here let's just put any property, let's say color is equal to red, and send the request. So once we try to send the request, you can see there is nothing. That means the property is not being added. You can try a bunch of different ways as we did it in the previous lab. Let's say if I just take out this one, this comma, send the request again, you can see 500 internal server error, but the status code here is 400 and the status is 400. So what else you can try here is to inject the status, okay, sorry, status, and the value of the status code, let's say port 540, and just send the request again. You can see it's still 500 and status code is 400. If I try to just put the comma again to make everything fine, now you can see we get the response, and this time again if I try to deliberately pop up the error, so I remove the comma and send the request again, and here still you can see 400. It does not show us this one. So that means this method is also not working, but it doesn't mean that it is not vulnerable to prototype pollution. So we need to test it in different ways. What else we can try using with constructor? So I'm going to put here constructor, and constructor is going to be, instead of proto, I'm gonna say prototype. Okay, and because we opened two curly braces, so we have to close it, the first one. Okay, and here let's say instead of status, I'm gonna say color, and color is going to be red, and let's try to send the request. So once we send the request, this time you can see the property is being added here. That means this way you can inject the prototype property. Fine. So if it is rendered, the property is being added, that means we can try to manipulate this admin parameter. So I'm gonna just copy that, and instead of color I'm gonna put is admin, and instead of red I'm gonna say from false to RUE. Okay, that's it. Send the request, and you can see is admin is true. And you can one more thing you can point out here, this property which we added previously is still there. So that's it. Admin is equal to true. Back to our lab, and I'm just going to refresh the page or click on my account one more time, and you can see admin panel appears here. Click on admin panel and click on delete the Carlos account so that we can solve the lab. So that's it for this video. Hope you understand it and hope you enjoy the lab. Share, subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.